Tapscott's long kick in. Howe. Now everybody down except Green. Last man standing, Brad Green. This time he won't miss. Drills the goal. Second goal for Melbourne. First goal for Green.
All the dangerous space was out the back. And again, experience. You can see the two Gold Coast players competing for the ball. You just see the ball here coming in.
Oh, look at this.
Green out the back.
Stephen Bradbury.
Now, young Taylor Hine, if you're going to go up and lose your direct opponent, you either mark the ball or put the ball 12 rows over the boundary line. There was no impact on that ball whatsoever. The ball spilled. Brad Green stayed on his feet, and that's just experience. He played the odds and won.
Beat a couple to Sylvia. Can they go all the way here, Melbourne? Tapscott waits. Now into the pocket. Wants Brad Green. Jeremy Howe let him go at it, and he's got it.
It's a fantastic kick because it was out in front of Green. It was a well-weighted kick to get over the back so he could lead into the pocket, and his direct opponent was just totally out of position. Took a really easy mark in the end.
Colin Silver, we've talked about his 2 goals, his work rate, but he started in the back pocket, Colin Silver, and he ran the length of the ground, just about, and got the ball there to Green. That's great work rate from all the Melbourne players.
The ball use coming out of defence all day has been terrific.
40% probability. Man on the mark, 38 metres out. He's better than 40%, Brad Green.
Yeah.
He's 100%.
He's excited, rightly so. It's been a long year for the Melbourne Football Club and Brad Green. He got very excited by that, and you can understand why, because they've only had the 2 wins. They would have come into this game thinking we need to start well. But have a look at Colin Sylvia here. We talked about his 2 goals. His work rate to run back in defence and really help his teammates is outstanding. You can just see here, gets the secondary disposal, then gets it out to Tapscott, and then Brad Green marks the ball. Great team play, Melbourne. All those disposals either.
That's a good stretch and mark from Jeremy Howe.
He's getting
Just
there.
a marking machine.
He's just working up to it.
Warming up to it,
He's
isn't
given a few hints that he might go for one.
Just a few preliminary jumps.
And there's another good strong grab. They've been able to do that all day.
Oh, that's bad defence. Again, we talked about it early on. Bale took a mark in a pack. I'm not sure whether the Gold Coast players are getting blocked out, but there's Jeremy Howe, as we've seen.
Fantastic lead.
Since the start of his career, but this mark here, really disappointing. Warnock.
And Taylor Hine, I mean, young player, inexperienced,
You can wear that
light
from Taylor
body.
Hine, but Warnock's got to be stronger. He's got to find a way to get a fist onto that ball.
This is a 48% probability, but it's Brad Green. And he kicks his 3rd. He doesn't worry about stats, he just bangs it through.
They make the most of their opportunities, Melbourne. And Taylor Hine, he'll learn from that. That high ball, Brad Green's such a beautiful contested mark for his height. He just needs to play side on. He got in front there, and he was in no man's land. So it's okay to play in front, but you've got to read the flight of the ball. Yeah. So he got in front of Brad Green. You can see in his position, but the ball was floating over his head. So all he had to do was play on Brad Green's side and then dictate whether you go to the front position or the back position or stay side by side. But that's the experience of Green.
It's a real sign of the desperate times for the Suns at the moment.
Howe's long kick in, looking for
Hine's
Brad
playing in
Green. It's a
front again.
beautiful kick. Green can play on. He's got 3. Make that 4.
Great forward craft from Brad Green. I don't want to be too harsh on the guy playing his 5th game, Taylor Hine, but all the dangerous space is behind. And that's what you have to do when you're playing defence, especially when the ease of the ball coming out. See Taylor Hine play in front, all the dangerous space between Brad Green and the goal umpire. At least force Brad Green to lead up. If he leads up, he marks the ball at 50 out. But he's in no man's land at the moment. But that's the Riscatelli factor. Riscatelli's inability to put pressure on up the other end makes it so easy for the forwards to score for Melbourne.
Spencer, Maloney, Strauss, headed for Green. And he's been the key forward of the day. We talk about votes.
Yeah.
He's lining up for goal number 5.
He's been their main forward 50 target and certainly presented extremely well all day, and he'll line up for another one, which is a good result. But there's a lot of sore players for both teams. To the good lead from the square, out to the side, into space.
It's a great kick. He's actually delivering to Brad Green today. He will have really appreciated it because he hasn't really had that all year.
We'll actually need this goal, Melbourne.
This will put it back to 40 points. for goal number 5 for Brad Green. He doesn't miss 2 in a row. It's a green day at the MCG.
And a good result. Good to see the former skipper, the 250-game champ, on the end of some good work. And he does this really well. But as a forward, for a lot of the time, you're relying on some good ball, and he certainly received that today. Their inside 50 entries have been of good quality. Their kicking efficiency has been at 71%, well above the Gold Coast Suns, who are trailing poorly in that facet of the game with 62.